Greetings from my home library, from where for the last 9 months I have hosted the Eastline Book Club every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Before that, we met in our Wantagh space once a month, and though I do sorely miss the veggie straws that Alan Blaine would bring every month, Book Club has become a beacon in my week, and I look forward to it every Sunday night. I have met the absolute loveliest people, and it has quickly become my favorite Eastline event. There is no more sublime a joy than a surprise star turn from an unexpected person, and I am so glad we get to share our love of reading plays with each other. In January, we will mark our 2-year anniversary, and this Sunday we will read our 50th play. To mark the occasion, I thought I would give you some selective descriptions of the plays in the hopes that it would convince you to read them, or at the very least to join us on Sunday nights. The very first play we read in our first meeting was You Can't Take It With You by George S. Kaufman and Moss Hart, which is about a tax dodger who almost starts a violent overthrow of the government. After that, we read The Matchmaker by Thornton Wilder, and our reading starred the dearly missed Gary Malenko as Horace Vandergelder. The Matchmaker is just not as good as Hello, Dolly. Next was the classic Agatha Christie murder mystery, And Then There Were None, which is about murders done at the behest of a racist Mother Goose. Next we read The Man Who Came to Dinner by George S. Kaufman and Moss Hart, which features outdated references and is about an evil maniac who locks a woman in a sarcophagus. In June of 2019, we read Jeffrey by Paul Rudnick, which is a hilarious comedy about AIDS. Rumors by Neil Simon is about a woman named Myra whose husband may be trying to kill her. The classic Inherit the Wind by Jerome Lawrence and Robert E. Lee is about how monkeys are smarter than humans. The Jungle by Joe Murphy and Joe Robertson is a moving true story that made the whole club cry about white people incorrectly translating a Pashto word. Amelia by Morgan Lloyd Malcolm, also a favorite. It's about Shakespeare's mistress writing a book. We started our Kate Hamill love affair with Sense and Sensibility, which is about two sisters who have vastly different relationship styles, both terrible. Then we read Vanity Fair by Kate Hamill, which features Becky Sharp, the baddest bitch around, and all the people's lives she ruins. Back in February, we had an all-day marathon of Angels in America by Tony Kushner. Part 1, Millennium Approaches, is about a self-hating Mormon. Part 2, Perestroika, the Mormon goes unredeemed. Most of you are familiar with Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, but if you need a reminder, it's about a girl whose adulthood is made worse by the fact that she can remember how to fly. Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw is about a confirmed bachelor who loves nothing more than his mother and good diction. We read our first Chekhov play earlier in the summer, The Seagull, which features, like many other Chekhov plays, Russians with too many names getting worked up about nothing. Then we read Eastline favorite The God of Vengeance by Sholem Asch, about a Jewish father making some really bad decisions. August Osage County by Tracy Letts is a holiday dinner with the relatives you really hate, but turned up to 11. A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams requires no explanation, just look at that cover. Yes, this is the same cover it had in my high school English class. I Am a Camera by John Van Druten is cabaret with a slightly happier ending, but the Nazis still happen. Another Kate Hamill, Little Women, is about a girl named Beth, who maybe dies. Then we read Arsenic and Old Lace, an Old Chestnut by Joseph Kesselring. It is actually about two old ladies who poison people. It is as funny as it sounds. Gross Indecency, The Three Trials of Oscar Wilde by Moses Kaufman is about an Irish playwright making some catastrophically bad decisions. A theme seems to be developing. Arcadia by Tom Stoppard is about math that you and I will never understand. Choir Boy by Tarl Alvin McCraney addresses homophobia in all-boys school that not even singing in the choir can fix. Sugar in Our Wounds by Danye Our Love is a lovely, sweet romantic tale about slavery. The American classic A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry is about how much moving sucks. Next we read Intimate Apparel by Lynn Nottage, who recently appeared in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and Intimate Apparel is about a woman who loves to sew, but it never makes her happy. Trouble in Mind by Alice Childress is a classic that really deserves a bigger audience. It's coming to Broadway next year with its classic story of a hardworking black actress who gets screwed over, of course. Pride and Prejudice by Kate Hamill is about a rude man who doesn't deserve Elizabeth Bennet. Then we read our first Brecht play, Mother Courage and Her Children, translated by Tony Kushner, about a woman who loves pulling her cart more than she loves her children. Water by the Spoonful by Chiara Allegri Hudes is a Pulitzer Prize winner about a man who works at Subway. Shakespeare in Love, adapted by Lee Hall, is about Shakespeare finally realizing he is gay. Men on Boats by Jacqueline Backhouse is about men on boats, played by women. This next one was a big hit with the book club. A Very Expensive Poison by Lucy Preble is really about how you should never trust the Russians. Then we read Snow in Midsummer based on an ancient Chinese play in a new version by Frances Yachu Cowig. This is about a ghost girl who tries to solve climate change and also get revenge at the same time. Of course, The Welkin, which is about a comet. Anna in the Tropics by Nilo Cruz is about a man who really doesn't like Anna Karenina. Continuing a theme, If, adapted from Euripides by Colin Tevan, is about a Greek father who has made maybe the worst decision on this list. Teenage Dick by Mike Lew is just a title you should never Google. In Faustus, That Damned Woman by Chris Bush, finally a woman makes the bad decision, and she gets damned to hell for it. Let the Right One In, adapted by Jack Thorne, is a reminder not to talk to strangers. Recent Pulitzer Prize winner Fairview by Jackie Sidley's Drury is about how white people need to get it together. The Watsons by Laura Wade is kind of like that painting of Jesus that a would-be art restorer ruined, except Jane Austen. Yellowface by David Henry Wong is an autobiographical piece about a playwright with an imaginary friend. A Matter of Life and Death, adapted by Tom Morris and Emma Rice, was a really polarizing read for the club. Some people loved the surprise ending. Other people couldn't get over the fact that the play was about how heaven doesn't exist and we're all doomed to an eternity of menial office labor. And finally, this past Sunday night, we read The Bacchae by Euripides, translated by Anne Carson. In The Bacchae, a group of women have a girls' night on a mountainside and it goes extremely wrong. And if you would like to join us, we meet Sunday nights at 7 p.m. You can find all the info you need at facebook.com/groups/EastlineBookClub. We would love to have you.